Exercise 4-1. Hi, Joe Cerrone here for CAD 134, AutoCAD for Interior Design. Chapter 4 goes through working with text. And when you work with text with AutoCAD, it's not like a regular word processor. It's really more like a tool that would be used to create signs where you can have precision locations of text like a stop sign. It's got a specific shape, specific font. So as we look at text, think about it as not just annotating your drawings, but also being able to use as a design tool. And so when we look at these text options, it shows us how to go through in exercise 4.1 these different ways of using text. And so we can use this bold type text, this hand lettering style, using different alignment options like fit, vertical, overscore, underscore, and then standard codes like the plus minus symbol, the degree symbol, the diameter symbol. You can create text that's upside down and backwards, paragraph form with multiline, and then these different justification options. So to get started on exercise 4.1, you can set up these drawing parameters where you can create a drawing with architectural units, set the drawing limits. And when they say set the drawing limits, the lower left is 0, 0, and the upper right is 8.5 by 11, which basically says it's the size of a sheet of paper. Grid display 0, grid and snap, and then these layers. We've already taken care of some of those for you. So if you go to the Content tab of Chapter 4, and you go to Tutorial 1 and you download this file, you'll get something like this. And we've just given it a start for you. And so that if we look at the way the drawing is set up, I'm going to show the menu bar. Actually, it's already on. But if I go to, for example, units, we have the unit set as architectural. And then if we go to our limits, the lower left-hand corner, as you can see in the command prompt, is 0, 0, and then the upper right is 8.5 by 11. And it's also in the heads-up display there. So the drawing is set up properly. When we work with a grid display of 0, what we're doing is we're setting the grid display to be within the limits. If I were to change this to 1, it goes back to infinite. And if I go back to 0, it goes back within our limits. And then it's pretty straightforward as far as to how to go through and create these different text styles. And so we can go through and create all these different text styles. I'm just going to kind of look at them and kind of work with some of these. And so if we look at the exercise from the textbook, we could start off by creating this hand lettering style. It looks like it's centered with City Blueprint 3/16 of an inch high. So to be able to go and create that with AutoCAD, what we would do is we would go into the drawing in AutoCAD and we downloaded the template, and we can go to the Annotate tab, and then we can go to our text styles. And so here's our text styles. I was hovering over dimensions there for a second. And so if you click on these arrows, you can see that there's a number of different text styles already created for you. If I go over here to hand lettering, it's set for City Blueprint. I can change the text height to 3/16 right here. So we can just go here, 3/16, and then we'll leave everything else alone. It's going to look like this. It has a tendency to look like hand lettering. So we'll say apply it and close it. And then when I work with the text, I want to work with that particular style. And so I'm going to choose that style here. And then when I go and put that text in, um, I'm not sure if they're using multi-line text here or single line. And the difference between single line and multi-line text is that multi-line text kind of works like a word processor, and single line text is more accurate. So we'll start off with single line because it's a little bit more work to use. It's the older command. Specify the center point. And what you can do is you can go down arrow, justify, and then you can then justify it. And I'll just go with a justification of middle center. And then I'll say, well, the middle is about right here. And the rotation angle will be 0, meaning it's going to be horizontal. And then we can type in the text. It looks like it's all caps, so I'm just going to turn that on. Sometimes the stackability of the letters can be a little wonky, but don't worry about it at this time. And so once we have that, you just hit enter twice, and then that will go onto the sheet. That looks perfect. If we look at the overscore and the underscore styles, again, we can go back to our text, and then we can go and we can take a look at these other ones. And so let's take a look and see. Impact, note, here's our overscore, here's our paragraph, here's this Roman style, here's our standard. And so we're using this font here. We can set the text height for that. It looks to me like they're using the fit option on this. So I don't think it necessarily needs a standard height. From the looks of it, it's about a ½ inch high. So I'm just going to go with that. And you can put in decimal values. You don't have to put in 1/2. And I'll say set that as current. I'll apply it, and then I'll set it as current. And then I'll close it, and then you should see the standard lettering font there. And again, if we use single line input, I can set that up with the fit option. And so you go and you say J for justify, down arrow justify, and then we'll say fit. And I like fit because if you have a really long name and you want to fit it into a title block, you can set up the title block with the fit option. And then I'll just come down over here and I'll go through and I'll just click a couple of points for it to fit between those 2 points. And then when I type in you can see it kind of squeezes the letters into that space defined. And so that's the fit option. And then if we go back to our text style, we can choose some of these other ones, like for example, the vertical. I can set that current. We'll make the text height for that 1/4 inch. And if I'm wrong, you can just follow the book. If you follow my video, that's fine. The important thing is the understanding of how to work with text and to precisely locate it. So when we work with this vertical, you can see it's set. We'll set it as current. We'll say yes. We'll close it. Single line text. Start point. We'll go right over here. And then it seems to think that I'm still in the fit option. So let's go back here and try that one more time. Single line. And then we'll go and let's just leave the justify out. I don't think I need to do that. I just go single line. I should be able to go right here. And then second point for the baseline, text baseline, I'm not sure. Let's just throw it out there and see what happens. I think it's going to turn it after I put it in. Whoa, I don't know what happened there. There it is. I was looking at the book. So there's my vertical style, and then I just hit enter twice, and yeah, it doesn't quite work. I'll just rotate it for right now rather than go through all those. I'm sure we can. I think I just had to go down with it. But either way, as you start to work with these different fonts, this is just a basic rundown on how to do exercise 4-1. A lot of it is set for you. And so as you go through and you look at the exercises for this chapter, we've already gone through and put some templates in place for you, and you can use those if you like to kind of automate the way you're going to go through and create these different text drawings. Okay, that completes this video for how to do exercise 1. And I'm going to see if I can turn off this webcam.